Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We are back with another Walking Dead review, this time reviewing the Season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead, titled The Day Will Come When You Won't Be. If you haven't seen it yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. So, the biggest question coming into this episode wasn't who is Negan going to kill, because that got spoiled in August, which we predicted after the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
The biggest question going into this episode was, will the premiere earn the cliffhanger? And the answer to that question is no.
No. They had about 20 minutes of wasted episode, the first 20 minutes, stalling on the reveal.
Yeah.
And it felt like they were stalling. I don't feel like it added anything to the story. I don't feel like it made Negan seem scarier or Rick broke Rick anymore. Like, it felt completely unnecessary. It felt like a wasted 20 minutes so that they could draw out that cliffhanger even further.
As soon as they got done with Rick and Negan on the RV and those little flashes of the lineup, the episode recovered really fast and it got really good as soon as they did reveal the kill. But what saved the episode, for me anyway, was the Carl scene. Yeah.
Negan, oh my gosh, for the Carl scene, yeah. That totally saved the episode.
Now, if the kills had not gotten spoiled, maybe our tune would be a little bit different. But the kills really didn't have any impact on us because we knew what was going to happen. And it got spoiled. You basically almost could, if you managed to avoid the spoilers, good on you, because they were everywhere, and it was ridiculous. AMC, please take this to heart and don't do this kind of thing again, because you cannot keep anything under wraps.
Yeah, I mean, the entire script leaked on Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
And the kills leaked in August. And
Yeah.
I predicted that it would get spoiled by August. It got leaked in August.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much right on the money.
Yeah.
So Abraham got the bat first, and it really was that was a great sequence with Abraham taking the bat, sitting back up, standing up straight, gesturing to Sasha. That was a great little touch there. But before the first hit, when he gestured the peace sign to Sasha, that was a fantastic touch.
Yeah.
And then, he straightens back up after the first hit and tells Negan to suck his nuts. Great little Abrahamism, one last Abrahamism.
Yeah.
Nice touch there. And then when Glenn took his first hit, and he says, "Maggie, I'll find you." It takes him a while to get it out, but he does. And so they each got like their last words in, which was really cool. I liked that.
Yeah, yeah. So since there were 2 deaths, I really don't understand why we didn't get Abraham's death as the ending of the finale, because then everybody would just assume, okay, well, Abraham's the one who died, okay, and leave it there, and then have Glenn die in the beginning of this episode. It would have been like, oh my gosh, we already had the death, there's not supposed to be a second one. Like, it would have been much more of a shock. And I think with the cliffhanger there, I feel like people were actively trying to find out who it was and to leak it. If you don't have an obvious cliffhanger, people wouldn't search for it, so maybe they would actually have been able to keep it under wraps.
Now, of course, Steven Yeun, he was off filming a movie during filming of, the first half of Season 7. So people probably would have figured it out, and it would have gotten out anyway.
Yeah,
but I think it would have been
better.
I think it would have been way less likely without a cliffhanger of this magnitude.
Yeah.
And Glenn dies because of Daryl.
Yeah.
And the guilt Daryl is going to feel there.
That was a fantastic touch. Because we're like, when we got spoiled, we're like, okay, Abraham and Glenn, but who dies first? Because we're like, well, if Glenn dies first, then Abraham's going to die because he's going to try to stop it, and then that'll be him. We're like, but man, what if Abraham dies first? How are they going to add Glenn to that? And they did it perfectly. That was actually executed perfectly. And it's great because it's a legitimate reason why Glenn would
Yeah.
also die, and it's also great because it's going to add so much character development for Daryl.
Yeah, just Daryl dealing with that guilt, and Daryl in this episode, I don't think he had a single line of dialogue, but he did kind of revert to his old season 1 and 2 self, with just impulsive and driven solely by anger, and so that might signal that Daryl is kind of reverting a little bit. But I do think that there have been a lot of dominoes set up. Daryl's a character where there's just tons and tons of dominoes that if one gets flicked over, it's going to lead to his death. And I don't think they'll ever flick those dominoes over, but this is just another domino added to that list.
Yeah.
And just Daryl being driven by guilt now could totally go off and sacrifice himself for the greater good. And if they ever do decide to kill Daryl, that's how it has to go down.
Yeah, he has to die saving everybody or saving a large percentage of the people. Like
Or
that,
a child
or
or something like that, like Judith.
That's the only way to give a character like
Yeah.
that a just death.
The Rick Negan stuff in the RV, that was, I'm neither here nor there on that.
Yeah. But I agree, like, I didn't really see the point of the Rick and Negan off in the RV with the axe and throwing him out there, he did that because he
was
did
it
to
filler
break
for the
him.
episode.
Yeah, and it's Negan's justification was he took him out there to break him. He needed the way he was looking at him to change, and
And
it
he
didn't.
failed.
But I don't see how that would have. Like, I don't. Carl, yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
get his look to change, but the RV, it just felt unnecessary.
It was totally filler
Yeah.
for the episode, and it just didn't land for me. I don't think it added any nuance to the
Yeah.
episode. It was just a way for them to stall, to hold off the kill reveal for the first 20 minutes,
Yeah,
which I
exactly.
think was a giant mistake.
Yeah.
The premiere did not earn the cliffhanger. They've been talking about how brutal it was, and it was very brutal.
But they ruined it by
they
the
botched
20
it.
minutes.
They-
Had they not done that 20 minutes and had started off right at the kill,
Yeah.
it would have earned the cliffhanger. Because even knowing it was coming, I still jumped when Glenn got the bat, and I knew it because he was standing right behind me. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna swing right now. He's gonna get him. And then he didn't. I was like, ah!
Yeah.
It's still, even with it being spoiled, it would have earned the cliffhanger if it wasn't for that first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was total filler, felt like filler, and added nothing to the episode.
The cliffhanger felt very gimmicky, and
Yeah.
then stalling the reveal for 20 minutes felt very gimmicky, and I'm over that.
Yeah.
I'm over The Walking Dead relying on these gimmicks and teasing and on some level disrespecting the audience.
Yeah.
But now that we're through the premiere, hopefully we can just hit this season running and, let all these kind of feelings of just frustration with the show go and really get into it.
If the rest of the season is as good as the last 40 minutes of this episode, I imagine that's going to be very easily done because the last 40 minutes were fantastic.
So if they can keep up the quality that this episode displayed in the last 40 minutes throughout the rest of season 7, I think it's going to be an outstanding season. I really do. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you have anything to add, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this review, please let us know by dropping a like on it and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.